Greetings and welcome everybody to the Jane Live Miracle Medicine on a Thursday. We bring you up-to-date leading edge information on our case studies at the 24/7 Global Virtual Holistic Quantum Wellbeing Center from Bryanston. And today we're going to unpack long-term COVID. In our center, we have a continual stream of people that are coming in with situations, conditions, rashes, brain fog, memory loss, heart, lungs, digestion, and the list goes on. Chronic fatigue, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmunity, those kind of diseases. Let's call them diseaters or disorders. And it definitely is amplified at the moment. And I wanted to really just demystify long-term COVID today and assist people who are battling with that or know people who are battling. And you're always welcome to refer them to our center here in Bryanston, whether they come in person or virtually, globally. We provide services worldwide with the Quantum QUEXED NASA device. We're able to reach everywhere, every corner of the round earth. And we also send our products globally too. So we have almost sent to nearly every one of the, I would say, real mainstream countries in the world, East and West. So we're very proud of that. And there are people sprinkled around the world where I've assisted them heal. And in 2020, we opened up our chronic disease drip clinic. We call it the CCC drip clinic. And the miracles that we experience there on a daily basis are, there aren't any words for it. And it's quite gory, some of the things, because we get very, very, very sick people. Some of them, we carry them in, and after 3 hours, they walk out. So it's really, really amazing what we do experience. And I'm humbled and grateful for all of that. And then, of course, the consultations with people as well. So what people sort of say is, just follow what she says. You know, you're going to show an improvement. And I think that really sums it up. And we aim for people to think clearly, live productively in all areas of their lives. And we will work at realigning the body and then teaching people about prevention, which is always better than waiting for when it's too late. So, as I say, that really sums up where we're coming from. Everything we do is pure, natural, unique, food state, plant-based, quantum state. And, you know, sum total, we're focusing on well-being. We also have our HOW, holistic ancestral orientation, emotional release, and our HBO, holistic business orientation, where we help people reorder their businesses and themselves, and that all happens in the quantum universal field of wisdom. So it's a lovely, lovely, very tight means of reestablishing order, peace, stillness in people. We don't leave any stones unturned, and people are speechless, they're spellbound. Many of them would say to us, we've been everywhere, but nobody's ever been as thorough as this. With the HOW sessions, the emotional release, people just exclaim and say they've never ever experienced anything like this. And it's quite extraordinary also to experience, because they do the self-transformation, not me. I just help set it up. And for me to experience one quantum collapse after another, and the re-emergence into a higher conscious state it's extraordinary. In fact, there aren't words for it. It's an observation. It's a feeling. It's a knowing. And I think this is what the ancient Eastern philosophers allude to. And unfortunately, the quantum physicists and mathematicians aren't able to measure this knowing, this feeling, this self-transformation. They can get as far as consciousness, but no further. So very exciting, and it's completely in parallel with my doctorate, a holistic quantum well-being framework. So I've kind of pulled together everything that I do. So I just want to bring through my slides, and I've got quite a lot of slides today. There's a reason for that. I want to share a lot with you. Just hang on. I don't know what's happened to my slides. I'm just going to get them now. Just bear with me. And I'll get them to you in a moment. There, perfect. There it sits. Okay. And it's just going to upload for us. As I said to you, quite a long presentation, but I'm going to focus on specific things. And remember also, we do live blood analysis. So we see a lot of things firsthand before it appears in medical journals, before it appears even on social media. We see a lot of things first because we're looking at the blood. And it's often very revealing to us. So I think between the live blood, the quantum assessment machines, devices that we have, we really get to grips with the root cause of disease on a physical level and on the emotional level with the how. So here we go. It's just going to pull it through. There we go. Let me open up and share. All right. So this is the dawning of the new paradigm shift. A new paradigm shift means that there's a convergence, a quantum collapse, and a divergence into higher consciousness. And that's really what I'm about. And, I believe we're here for self-discovery, self-transformation, and the attainment of the highest level of consciousness we can. So those of you who are with me, join. And I'm going to join you too. So we're going to be having a look at oxygen activating nutraceuticals. Why? Because oxygen is king and it's queen. And we're wanting to have a look at how safe you are going forward. We get involved these days with catching aeroplanes in big meetings, in gatherings of large people, and people are definitely carrying the effects of long-term COVID. And you need to protect yourself. So I will share with you on the oxygen aspect there as the primary nutrient to ward off invading organisms and prevent. So we're going to be going through quite a few of those. If you have any questions, please do just raise your hand and I'll address them for you. All right, so a lack of oxygen is the underlying cause of most diseases. That's Otto Warburg, and I really do endorse that. And what happens when there's a lack of oxygen is that the parasites grow exponentially. They're multiplying like this. And a lot of these parasites are damaging genetic material, nucleus, cells, tissues, organs, and we don't want that. And a lack of oxygen prevents the body from detoxifying. So here we're going to look at, as I said to you, the air, breathing, the almost gold supercell oxygen, stress defense shield, immune boosts, bee pollens, enzymes, adaptogenic herbs, the Budwick blending of an oxygen-rich nutrient, and also exercise. So here we are starting off with breathing and oxygen. Remember actually that the primary nutrient are the photons from the sun, and then the electrons from the earth. Those are free for everybody. So is air. So let's look at the air, assuming we already get in the sun and get our feet on the ground. So we're talking here about various breathing techniques. Just about everybody that comes to me is low in oxygen. There will be maybe sports people who come in who are optimized in oxygen. So the very healthy will have an oxygen level inside the cell of above 85%. Most people are 70 to 75%, which is too low. The very sick are going towards 60, 55%. Nobody can live like that. You're going to be chronically ill at that low level. So we do whatever we can to raise that oxygen level. Included in that is teaching people breathing techniques and posture, because many people slouch. They block the lungs, they not also block the stomach, they block the diaphragm, so they can never take a full breath. They're only breathing, at the top parts of their lungs here, and stress will do that as well. So breathing techniques are important. There's the Wim Hof, there's the alternative nostril breathing, that technique, and you can Google all of those and get onto them, because oxygen pacifies people. It detoxifies you. It removes the heavy metals, the toxins, the parasites. Exercise and yoga will also get the circulation going so that food and nutrients can get to the cell and waste can leave, such as the microbes. There would be the automatic opportunistic pathogens that appear in our bodies. I've talked about this a lot on my YouTubes, so please go and have a look on the Jane McKenzie YouTube channel. Just type in at the top oxygen, type in at the top microbes, type in at the top toxicity, GMO, any of these, almost gold, and you will get to wonderful, wonderful educational videos. So the microbes are the opportunistic pathogens, as well as the environmental engineered organisms. Those we need to be very careful of, because they are contagious and they spread. And more on that in my other YouTubes. Genetically modified organisms is basically what I'm alluding to. And that along with that goes a genetically modified food. And then toxicity would be chemicals, environmental chemicals. And there's about 700,000 right now that any person can be exposed to in any one day. So that's really a huge amount, and it accumulates if we don't have a good, clean liver, clean blood, and we're doing all the basics: sun, earthing, air, breathing, water, good nutrition, not frying foods. The toxins will just multiply. We need to do the exercise. And then there's also the effects of EMF and 5G, which we'll talk about. So possible causes of the infections, and those of you who are listening that have the long-term COVID or know people of you should be ticking boxes and crossing boxes here as well. So basically, that mRNA genetic fragment is engineered, and it can be a cause. Many of these parasites live in the blood. They grow there. They then leave the red blood cell, and they travel in the blood to any area of the body, wherever there might be an emotional need or a weakness. However, we have the bone marrow, which isn't always optimized, because the kidney doesn't always instruct the bone marrow to release white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, stem cells, etc., the immunoglobulins. So we need to backtrack and make sure that the kidney as an organ is clear, and that the hypothalamus is instructing the kidney. And even back some more steps to make sure that the chemical message in the body is received by the liver, sent in the bloodstream to the hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, and then released in the blood to tell the various organs what to do, such as the kidney to tell the bone marrow to please produce stem cells, etc. So that's a bit of a technical mouthful, but those who are following will know what I mean. So there gets the hypothalamus, kidney, the erythropoietin is the instruction to the bone marrow. Often the lungs are blocked. Today, the clinic was full of people with larynx, upper respiratory, lower respiratory lung problems, full with mucus, sometimes blood in the mucus, parasites measuring very high levels on our machines, septic tongues, so the parasites come up from the lungs into the mouth as well. Very high carbon dioxide levels in the blood, low oxygen levels in the blood. Often we find high nicotine levels. from smoking. One of the biggest problems is lack of oxygen transfer enzymes, and that occurs when those enzymes are low. That microbiome reset of 365 Healthy by Choice contains oxygen transfer enzymes and water transfer enzymes. So dehydration and lack of oxygen will be restored, taking that probiotic 3 to 4 times a day. Lovely. Poor breathing, as I said, often the posture, stress, and we don't take that huge breath in and let it all out and let the toxins out at the same time. So our lungs are like the kidneys. They've got to release, they've got to excrete, and we're often not using it properly. Furthermore, if the kidneys and the liver, let's say, and the gut are blocked, then there's an overload on the skin and the lungs, and you will start seeing, psoriasis, eczema, etc., and problems with your lungs. So we've got to build the immunity, the thymus, the tonsils, the gut, the appendix, the spleen, white blood cells, and the microbes. And we've got to get the diet sorted out, get off the sugar, the heated oil, the processed food, and make sure that we have sufficient sleep so that the nervous system can restore and the immunity can be built. Just tick and cross the boxes if it happens to be you or someone that you know. So start making your list. Okay, we often and mostly find the body is acidic. Too much carbon dioxide. Again, it's a function of breathing. People aren't breathing that old stale air with the carbon dioxide in it out. And then we get all these lung problems. Again, further reduced oxygen, because if the oxygen can't be received via the lungs into the blood, you're not going to get it to the cell. And then what happens if the oxygen can't bind with electrons in the cell, you're not going to get ATP produced. So that's a physical impossibility. And then we also need amino acids as building blocks to be produced by high oxygen levels. We have to have oxygen for amino acid synthesis. And I've gone on and on about adequate proteins in the body. The replica RNA DNA product comes to mind because that one contains the 5 major starting block amino acids of the entire body. But even then, you're going to need oxygen for the synthesis. So we end up with a lowered immunity, a changed genetic profile, and reduced amino acid peptides. Nobody wants that. Remember, oxygen is also there to charge the body, along with the earth and the sun. So the adrenals have to be charged. And then without oxygen, too often we see obesity, metabolic breakdown, metabolic disorders, sugar problems, blood pressure problems, degeneration, forms of it, high inflammation, and pain. So there's lots of problems with too high carbon dioxide and not enough oxygen. Lifestyle is very, very important. Along with nutrition and stress, we've got to fix this up, and our emotions. And, many people live sedentary lives. They don't get outside. They don't step outside. Their air is toxic. They're living in recycled air, working in recycled air environments. The water's not pure. They're smoking, or there are people smoking near them. Too many toxins, and I include in there negative thoughts, negative emotions, people not living on purpose, not living their purpose, not working on self-discovery, raising their consciousness. Some people are too blocked to do that, and they are, I just think, living day to day in a I don't know, almost hypnotized state that they can't get out of. So often people need to bottom out in order to stand up and say, I need to shift. And sometimes as a practitioner, I have to wait for that. So, it's sometimes slowly with people. These days, people are ready. They're coming and saying, I've had enough. We need to, I've bottomed out, I've zero-summed, I've done whatever, I need to remove this. I know I'm not getting well. I'm now on a Concerta, I'm now on an anti-anxiety product, I'm putting on weight, and I know I'm suffering, I'm not getting anywhere. So these are the people that arrive, and they just shift instantly. People who don't have enough cold-pressed oil, the flaxseed oil, can't establish an electrical potential in the lungs and the gut at the cell membrane to let the food and oxygen through. Also the omegas and for the brain and so on. So flaxseed is an essential oil. We do not make it, and the other oils do not do what flaxseed oil does. It needs to be cold pressed. Many people lack enzymes, and you get it from fruit, you get it from pollen, and obviously it's a protein source because enzymes are proteins like neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, etc. And you need the microbes in the gut to start the ball rolling here. And you get it in fruit and pollen. So very important there to make sure that our lifestyle is organized. And then solutions here would be good breathing, good posture, exercise, oxygen transfer enzymes from the probiotic, cell oxygen, pollens, MSM or DMSO. Both of those will bring in oxygen. DMSO in particular, dimethyl sulfoxide. Good hydration, and photon-rich foods that would be close to the sun. And with the earthing, we do have issues because technology we love, we need, and it's part of our lives. We ordered it. A long time ago, we wanted to be born in the state that we're born in. So it's not them or they or look what they've done. We set this up. So we wanted the technology to raise our consciousness, and we need to use it wisely. If we are 24/7 or 20 out of 7 hours on the screens, the phones, etc., never going outside, never touching the earth, never grounding ourselves, we're going to pick up health problems. And to that extent, we've developed in our 365 Healthy by Choice toolkit, earthing mats, wrist pads, EMF pendants. We've got two options there. We've got the brown resin EMF frequency modulator, and we've got the time crystal, which does the same and more. Earthing, iodine will ward off radiation, cilantro will, zeolite, probiotics, oxygen itself, schizandra berry, and then we brought in recently now as well the bromelain, nattokinase, and glutathione, because those work well together to dissolve the oxides that form in our blood, and which we see under the microscope, by the way, and purify the blood and the rest of the body from also residues of long-term COVID. So these are all aspects that we've got to look at to realign, get the circulation going. It's so important. It affects every single cell. And you can read there, look at all the diseases that poor circulation with low oxygen are going to cause. Organs get blocked. We've got to bring in the oils, the seeds, the nuts, the flaxseed, the B vitamins, very, very important for our stressful lives today. Really high levels in spirulina and kelp. That's why I love them. Our stress defense shield, brain fuel products. Kale and spinach full of vitamin Bs as well, and iron. And iron's critical, the next point, because iron, the hemoglobin, will bind the oxygen and carry the oxygen to the cells. We have to have iron. If part of our program that we set up for people is not working, or before we even set it up, we check the iron levels. And the minute those levels are up, the oxygen is carried and we have big results. Those people who were told to get iron and don't buy it, we see good results, but not fantastic. It's much, much slower. The minute they go and buy iron, they take off. So iron's critical. I'll talk about that towards the end as well, in red meats, in leafy greens. But again, be careful if you're very acidic, because that's going to affect the heart and raise the uric acid levels. And, too many leafy greens and things can also form calcification in a body that's not digesting properly, that's in metabolic shutdown. If you're in perfect working order, none of these oxalate things affect you. You don't calcify. You're not acidic. So, be careful what you read. Increasing iron, and like I've just said, you need vitamin B, E, you need antioxidants to do that. You need enough red blood cells too. So, and then beetroot will restore the red blood cells, but be careful half an hour before iron-rich foods because you can vomit. Hydration, exercise, earthing, breathing. Calcium will hinder the absorption of iron, so be careful if you're on continuous calcium supplements. Okay. Tomatoes will increase the absorption of iron. Spirulina will, and it contains iron. Apples, dates, prunes, raisins will boost iron levels. All the very dark fruit, pomegranates, lentils, molasses, butter beans, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, African horned melon, iron-rich natural water, that's the spartone. And then be careful of iron disorders, because some people, the liver doesn't metabolize iron properly, and you do get an accumulation in the liver. It doesn't mean the rest of the body doesn't need iron. And often you find a lack in the body, but the liver is not metabolizing it. Therefore, clean the liver. Get the liver back into good working orders. Don't sit stuck with, I've got a liver, I've got Wilson's disease, therefore I can't. No, you need to fix the liver. So we always go the steps back. So here are some of the food state plant-based products that are going to be very important for long-term COVID. So the Ormus Gold is critical because it's got the minerals, the platinum, precious metal minerals, gold, silver, copper, nickel, palladium, osmium, ruthenium, etc. And these are critical to charge the battery so that the body can heal, and for every single process in the body. We've got a supercell oxygen, and it's got cordyceps and pollen and ginseng in it, ginkgo, etc., especially aimed to assist with the absorption of oxygen and make oxygen in the body and the brain. Enzymes, absolutely critical for oxygen uptake, usage. Bee pollen will assist absorption, and MSM and DMSO. We've got to build our immunity and restore the genetics, the same Ormus Gold, the replica RNA, DNA with the 5 building block proteins, the probiotic that's going to restore our immunity, the phyto C, we need vitamin C, we need for the absorption of iron, our stem cells, it's got the 5 major plant adult stem cell activators. You take those, you stand in the sun, bare feet on the ground, you will activate your stem cells. Simple as that. The body will make what it needs, and they'll get called immediately to restore. And of course, we're moving and tending towards longevity here, anti-aging. Or shall I say natural aging. The bone and the marrow and the joint product we have, and we've got to get that sorted out, because the marrow is what's going to produce the white blood cells, red blood cells, immunoglobulins, and we have a male and female hormone boost, because the brain needs to be optimized in order to release the hormones so that the body can operate in a maximized health state. We've got to detox, 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 detox. Number 1, we bring our oxygen in there. Oxygen is king and queen. And then we've got to nourish the body. The stress defense shield, the brain fuel, you can't get better than that. More than 30 nutrients in the pure state, no fillers, no binders. We've got it in capsule form and in a smoothie boost. It's addictive. It's awesome. And then remember that we've got to have a look not only at physical, also emotions, also the mind, and also the spirit. So long-term COVID can prevail for a lot of reasons. And here again, it's just a summary of what I've been through, what I've just talked about. So, see which ones are resonating with you, but basically that is our list to get well with the cell oxygen. So here, for example, is Ormus Gold. There's a tree that wasn't fed Ormus, no Ormus. There's a tree that was fed Ormus. Look at the difference. Imagine one body not getting Ormus, a body getting Ormus. People say to me, Jane, where do you get your energy from? Well, I get it from the stress defense shield brain fuel. I get it from the Ormus Gold. I get it from the replica RNA DNA. I get it from the Irish moss. I get it from the shilajit. I get it from the probiotic. And I know that constantly on a daily basis, I'm rejuvenating, I'm restoring my genetic code and taking it to the next level. Because medicinal mushrooms, which are in the stress defense shield, for example, are educating my body. They are shifting my DNA. Bee pollen will shift my DNA. Spirulina will shift my DNA in accordance with the earth. Natural flow, natural shifting, natural evolution, not lagging behind. That distorts the soul. The soul doesn't want to lag behind. So then it'll manifest in the body again. And too often I see stagnation in the body. The lymph's building up, the blood's clotted and it's slow. Elimination is slow, digestion is poor or non-existent. That's just flat out stagnation. So let's revitalize the body, bring in the life force, charge the battery so we can live optimally. And then if you will liken yourself to an orange, you're going to get to that state, the grapefruit, sorry. Each generation gets bigger and better. I mean, look at the walnuts versus the trees without almost, trees with almost. And here again, those are oranges, sorry. And then the trees, the two different in the trees. So plants don't have consciousness. They can't do this. Then we missed out the leek. Sorry. Look at the difference in the leeks. No almost with almost. So I just think the results are there. And, people streaming for the Almost Gold. We sell it. It's our flagship. It's the Almost Gold range. And, it's ancient. It was used across the world by wise sages. It's an alchemy. We make it salt to gold. And it's just very, very platinum, precious metal, mineral dense, and which is missing in the food and the soil these days because of the farming. You find it naturally in spring water. You'll find it naturally in my products. It says Almost Gold at the top because they are hand-picked, come from the top importers, all with a certificate of analysis. So you can understand, you can get spirulina and spirulina, ginseng and ginseng, turmeric and turmeric. Depends how it's grown, and that'll dictate the price as well. So cheap isn't better. Know what you're buying. The frequency of the Almost Gold is about 23,000 angstrom. And for those of you who know about that, a very, very, very tight close spin of the electrons to the neutron and proton. The highest frequency I've ever measured in any substance that I know of on the planet. And we store it in foil paper because those electrons are so light that they will leave the bottle. When we make it, the electrons jump out and sort of enter our skin. So it's really beautiful. We also make it in a balm, and you put it on your body. It's a kind of an embalmment. It's beautiful. Gold is the most powerful detoxifying element on the planet. Almost Gold was used in the bubonic plague on its own, and it's documented. And we would say 2 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon a day maintenance, and every 2 hours a tablespoon if you want to detoxify. It pulls toxins out of nooks and crannies. Nobody knows how, but it's really, really amazing. So this is definitely one of our go-tos, the Almost Gold. And I think I've really, hammered this home. There on the point 2 is really what you should look at, because these are the names of all the platinum, precious metal minerals. It works in the conscious realm and on the physical realm. The genes on the DNA, it's shown to grow the telomeres. All of this is scientifically evidence-based. It will promote, therefore, healthy DNA and RNA. It allows the unwinding of the DNA strand, helix, and the winding up. And that's why we bring in the RNA, DNA proteins, because if you're missing thymine or adenine, one of those proteins, the RNA, DNA replica will provide it there. So you're getting a perfectly rewound up double helix. A lot of this is on my YouTube channel. Just type in Almost Gold at the top and you'll be surprised. You'll probably be about 10 to choose from. And it raises the immune system. It's awesome for bones and to detox the body and raise the immunity. Gets the body enlivened. It gets the battery working. gets the generator going, put it that way. It's a transducer. It's a superconductor of electricity. If you look at the lights, they can't come on without copper. That's just one of them that's in here. It's gold, silver, copper, nickel, platinum, etc. The cells start talking to each other and they become pH balanced. Starts improving vision, electrolyte absorption, that would be calcium, magnesium, potassium, energy, and removing muscle cramps, which means that the minerals are working. Bone strength, blood sugar levels, inflammation, pain, lupus, autoimmunity. I mean, I could just talk for a day on Almost Gold, basically. Cleans the organs, the gut for digestion, absorption of food, crosses the blood-brain barrier, wards off infection, assists with muscle functioning, bone functioning, nervous system functioning, removes the degenerative tissue, and so on. I'll refer to a researcher, an author, Lynn McTaggart, and she talks a lot in her books. There's also Bohm. He also, a researcher, also talks a lot about Almost Gold in the quantum space. And the unwinding of the DNA spiral and the rewinding, which I talked about. And I'm saying the best results with the Almost Gold is to use the replica RNA DNA. And it's $5.90 for 200 mils. And here's another aid, especially people battling with the lungs, because the supercell oxygen, the top 3 items here are going to assist with oxygen absorption through the lungs. You need flaxseed oil to line the lungs. Bee pollen will also do that. And then the other ones are going to assist with oxygenating the brain and the blood. Stem cells, we've got the 5 top adult stem cell producing plants, fungi and microorganisms. So that will be royal jelly, blue-green algae, lion's mane, cordyceps, hoshuu, that's 40. And like I said, the best result will be standing in the sun. Replica RNA DNA, right, I've talked about that to you, but you can see without repeating myself, it's going to boost immunity. In fact, what the replica RNA DNA does, it knocks on the door and it says to the immune system, hey, there's something out there that you're missing, because our immune system is not wired to go and find man-made organisms. It knows about the opportunistic pathogens and the ones that are occurring in nature, not the GMO ones. And the RNA replica, it's used in degenerative hospitals around the world to wake up the immune system to go and fight. So we use it routinely. And it's bacterial cell wall fragments. Phyto-C, this is just an absolutely awesome combination of 12 plant-based foods and herbs, foods. And herbs, which are going to present the body with different molecular structures of vitamin C, so it can take it when it needs it, because there's loads of vitamin C's, rutin, hesperidin, all different kinds, citrus bioflavonoids, which I've mentioned there. So when you take the whole food, the body's able to get what it wants when it wants at that particular time of the day. The amalaki, harataki, bubitaki, that is your triphala. And that's a very revered product too. We have the triphala as well. So we want to neutralize free radicals and prevent damage to cells. And these are antioxidants, remember? Because I'm going to talk about oxidation just now with the oxygen itself. B mix, this is a little bit of tiny writing. I'll make it big. So the big important thing here, to build immunity and to assist with the RNA, DNA, genetic material, the mRNA, which is the precursor to the DNA. And it's got all these wonderful attributes associated with it. Believe it or not, it's for allergies and, longevity, even weight control, infertility. So there's loads and loads of things. The bee mix has got the royal jelly, the propolis, and the bee pollen. Great for building immunity. collagen. These are just some of the products. So often we need collagen, but one must be careful that the kidney is not blocked with protein, because you're just going to make it more blocked and it will calcify even more. So you need to be able to absorb the collagen and able to process the protein. Otherwise, it's going to get stored in the body and become toxic. So for that, we actually have a plant-based cell oxygen, which builds collagen in the body naturally, plant-based. The other product we have which builds natural collagen is our decalcification flush, where the MSM, the ascorbic acid, the lemon juice will make collagen. And it's not going to have a protein effect on the body. So we've got two ways of building collagen which the body needs. Very important, this product here, the female hormone balance, because as I said, this must be in working order to send the messages to the body to go and build immunity, to get them the white blood cells, the probiotics, organisms to the site of infection. So the messengers must get through. The hormone balance, critical. Stress is going to affect the hypothalamus, pineal, pituitary as well. And just look at this beautiful combination of chasteberry, black cohosh, Tribulus terrestris, mucuna bean, all geared towards supplying the female hormones and making them, the helpers. The Don Quai, astragalus root, sea salt, maca, they are hormone builders. So very important. And we also have the male one. And let's have a look here. Let's just see. All right. So here also, here we've added the pine bark, Tribulus, mucuna, saw palmetto, and chasteberry, because it works in men as well, restoring hormonal balance. So sometimes people need to be given help while we're cleaning the liver and the blood and the rest of the organs. And we'll bring this in. So that's going to balance us beautifully. And it does all sorts of wonderful things too, the male hormone balance. And the bone marrow, this is the one that we're going to bring in here. Lots of products. We've even got Chancapiedra there to decalcify the body, the kidneys, the bones. So this is our beautiful combination. And it's going to, reduce pain, inflammation, calcification, strength, structure, getting the kidney working and the brain in order to instruct the bone marrow what to do. And here we're coming to nourishment. We've detoxed. We've got the lung, the kidney, the gut, the skin, the liver, lymph, blood detoxifying products already. Blood pressure management, blood sugar management. Now we're going to bring in our smoothies and our capsules. And we're going to be having a look at stress defense shield, brain fuel, and extreme performance boost. Those are our three. And these are our top range, top level. If you want to get nutrients in and you don't want to think about it, this is packed with over 30 nutrients and adaptogenic herbs. Many of the products I've mentioned, I'll show you now, are already in here. So instead of buying 30, 40 packets and trying to make a smoothie in the morning, we've done it for you. It's in a raw cacao base and a lot of hemp protein. So it's going to improve concentration, focus, shield the body from oxidation, increase cell activity from the brain to every single cell, and nourish and cleanse and restore. So these are just beautiful. And then very important, it's got the transfer factors, and that will come from the spirulina, the medicinal mushrooms. You also get that in the pollen. Very important immunity transfer factors. So they're going to restore a lot of things we've talked about right now. In addition, it's got the oils, the minerals, the vitamins, and it starts activating the body. So you feel restored, you feel energetic, and it's got all loaded with the antioxidants and the phytosterols, proteins, long chain sugars, essential for brain functioning and body functioning. They're not sweet. And then we come with our oxidation. And here is a list of all the beautiful, beautiful foods and herbs. And you tell me where you can get a formula like that. I mean, I've been to many places in the world looking, and I've had this honestly for about 7-8 years now. And there are the capsules, and there's the smoothie boost. And I mean, I've put a lot of testimonials in here, and this relates to our high-low protocol. So that would be a holistic, integrative, epigenetic life orientation system that we work, the high-low system. And it doesn't matter where you come in. If you started with us with an infrared sauna, if you started with acupuncture, if you started with an IV drip, if you started with a live blood analysis, or you start with a quantum assessment, we need to get a baseline. We need to then work on a detoxification, step 1, reset, then restore, nourish the body, then rejuvenate. Everything gets activated to a high level, and then we rejoice. So that's our 4-step phase: reset, restore, rejuvenate, and rejoice. And our oxygen products, our almost gold products, are our microbiome reset, our flaxseed oil, our DMSO. Those are givens. The replica RNA, DNA, we have to, because it's the starting block. And these people talk about what they've experienced. Especially people come in after, long-term antidepressants for 25 years. Chemo, radiation, 2nd, 3rd, 4th courses. People who've been on antibiotics for 4 years, their stomach's messed. People that have been on synthetic chemicals to clean, to, remove parasites and things. The gut is messed. So, the stories we hear every day, and the rejuvenation and the restoration is incredible. And all you have to do is follow, really. And you can just read a lot of these things. What I loved was the speedy progress, and I think that's true, because our results are quick. I don't have time to wait, and nor do they. And we're going to restore that body in time, quickly, properly. But we work with individually. There is no prescription, because we've got to work with the body, the innate intelligence of nature, the products we use, and the innate potential of the body to heal. And it's got its own mind. It's got its own course. And we can't really alter that. Plus, if the body's too weak, we can't, expect it to detox in the same way as a healthy body. We have to wait and restore the adrenals and restore the battery and slowly get the person up the hill. And it's very rewarding for me, because we get results. Even here, hair loss, nails, everything starts growing again. Many health practitioners send their people to me. Nails, systemic funguses. And just everybody, I'm feeling better. My eyebrows started growing back again. At gym, I've got huge energy levels. So again and again and again, it's just lovely. And that's every day. If I documented them all, I would have probably a book. So here's some other herbs that stimulate oxygen. And I always say, look at your blood group before you jump in and throw cayenne pepper down your throat, or black pepper, for example, because they're not for all blood groups, and that means they'll cause inflammation. So you'll see some of these products are already in. They're already in my products. And okay, we're coming to the end. Here's iron that I wanted to just talk about iron assisting the red blood cells carry oxygen, synthesis of vitamin B and E, and actually all antioxidants. So here are some foods that are high in iron. Beetroot, filled with iron, repairing, reactivating red blood cells, etc., and increase oxygen to all parts of the body. Beetroot's essential. Vitamin C, very, very in tomatoes, we said already. Apples, dates also help boost the iron levels. It's very easy to boost iron levels and not having to go and take a supplement. Just eat the right foods. Pomegranates, a huge source of iron and vitamin C. And used for anemic system. Calcium, remember, hinders the absorption of iron. So don't live on those calcium tablets. Most of them come from the ground. They're inorganic and we can't absorb it, and they cause calcification. And I see that all too often. So avoid high calcium foods half an hour before and after eating iron-rich foods. And rather get the body alkaline, and then you won't need calcium. Most people need calcium because the body is acidic. So the blood's drawing the calcium out of the bone all the time and wherever it can find it, and it never goes back into the bone. So there's osteoporosis, lack of calcium, and you get calcification because the blood goes onto the calcium starts binding on the bone, not going in the bone. Spirulina, blackstrap, molasses, butter, beans, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, lots of iron. And here's a local African horned melon, which is local to Africa. And it's like a cucumber inside, very watery. And it's going to promote oxygen in the body, which is going to produce muscle function. It's got traces of magnesium and strengthens bones and helps aches and calms the nerves and so on and so on and so on, full of antioxidant, anti-aging, and sugars. So it's a big, big bone booster, this one. So just if you can get hold of that, very easy to grow, a very rewarding fruit. So this really ends what I wanted to say today regarding long-term COVID. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of products that we can take. How to take what, when to take what, for how long, what is your benchmark in terms of health risk. Come in and let us assess. Let's get a baseline. Let's have a look at the function of the lungs, the iron levels, the oxygen levels, the hydration levels, the pH levels, the inflammation levels, the adrenal levels, the charge of the body, the brain amplitude. Okay, the levels of proteins, the levels of minerals, and start building the body, bringing in, rich mineral sources. Not only the gold, the almost gold, we've got to replenish, plus boron. Boron's critical to push that calcium into the bone. As we decalcify it, we load the bone with it. And it happens in a month. The calcium levels balance. It's too incredible. The magnesium malate, which we use, the malate also helps clear calcium off, and that calcium will get pushed into the bone with the boron. And we've got the shilajit minerals, full of minerals. 72 of them. Irish moss, 92 minerals. Lots of minerals able to bring in. So the oils, the minerals, the proteins, the long chain sugars, phytosterols, and then the lifestyle, and then reducing stress. And then we use our HAL programs, holistic ancestral orientation, to release emotions that are stored. Some of them don't even belong to us. We hand them back, and we bring in the peace, the unconditional love, the calmness, the joy, and restore the functioning of the body on a physical level. And the sense of freedom prevails, and peace, self-discovery, and raised consciousnness. So that's my bundle for today. I hope you've absolutely loved it. And I will be posting this recording on the WhatsApp groups. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday, same time. Thank you.